We're starting by setting up our lesson. Our lesson is our spine corrector on top of the Cadillac. Okay. And what we want with it is our arm weights. We want a set of arm weights. We want a pillow. That's terrible, I just saw it was on the floor. And you see, this is my red pillow. Sylvia from Pilates Designs gave this to me because I was, sent her a bunch of people. And she sent me this, and this is my favorite thing in my studio because it's so red. I've got black, I've got white, I've got blue, I've got gray. I always change my colors. And this red pillow is so beautiful. So the pillow, your weights, a belly strap on your table. If you don't have a belly strap, then you're going to have, if you have any leg weights. So the person's coming in, you must think you're the trainer. Here comes, the world-class boxer, and he's coming in for a lesson. Someone very high levels coming in for a lesson, and you're preparing for this lesson. So I'm going to have my leg weights, my arm weights, my pillow, because I'm going to do the spine corrector with them. But we're going to start with warming up, because today, which is September 11th, what can you say? What can you say? So we're just going to start with standing mat as a warm-up. I had planned to have this class outside at my event, which all of our events got canceled. So I'm teaching it inside, but I really wanted an outside class. So now it's just going to be a little warm-up in the studio class, all right? Which is your standing mat. So let's start by standing, not turned out. See that picture when Dunia in Austria had the picture of Joe Pilates, the $400 poster of Joe Pilates, standing, just standing, just standing. Now I see standing as I see it because I watch the boxers and they're in their corner after they knock the guy down and there's a count out and they're standing and they're waiting and they're standing. So standing is something you do, right? Because now we're standing on the X 6 feet apart from people and I got to be doing something. So now let's bring our feet together. All right. Squeeze the thighs. So I'm doing something. Just small little dips down and up. Let's go for 10. Let's just make it small. You're standing on the X. Oh, how nice to see Allison do something with us. You're just standing on the X. You're standing in line at the hardware store and there's 12 people in front of you. This is my X's. Bring your feet together, knees together, squeeze tight. Squeeze everything inside. Make this one a little slow. Squeeze everything. This would be a good class for the Europeans and the Australians who are very obsessed with things down there. This would be a good exercise. Squeeze everything really tight. You're waiting on the X. You're still on the X. Different class that I was going to teach, different times. All right, let's bring our feet under our hips, open them up. Really get them squared off. Put your weight in your heels, just small down and ups. Make it like a butt exercise. See if your weight's in one foot more than the other. Allison, you look so good. She's on the stress diet. All thin. Okay. Bring your leg over to your left. I'll be opposite you. And just pick your leg out to the side. Just hold it up. Still on the X. Switch. Straight out. Oh, I need this one. How about you? Switch. You see how I'm doing none of this? I could. Stopped her back last week. Those of you who took that class, oh my God. Switch. Definitely this position's gotten better for me. But we're doing that. We're just going to hold it down here. You're just on the X. You're just teaching people things to do. Come back. Bring the leg forward. You're teaching your clients where they're waiting for their tea to boil. Switch. Someone's, ooh. I have a situation on that side. This exercise is good for me. That's why I've been practicing on the X. Switch. Switch. Honestly, I went to the post office, mailing an armchair to Siberia, carrying it in. I figure if I can carry it, I can ship it, right? If I can carry it, I can ship it. One more to the front. It's about 26 pounds. And there was such a long line of people, and I calculated how many minutes. Switch, and I put it in my car and went home. Next day, I took the box again, the armchair. I took an armchair. Switch. Bring your leg behind you. You probably move to the next X here. Went back the next day, picked up that box, which the Russian Softerbeck had packed for me. Totally great in that tape. Half an armchair I'm shipping. Switch. Behind you. So instead of shipping an armchair costing $1,000, I'm shipping an armchair for less than $400, 2 different pieces. Take it to the post office, it's about 25 pounds. I know because I can pick it up. Still behind you. And there's only like 6 people in line. So I'm on the X, I put the box down and I start doing something, right? Right? Okay, let's hold the arms out. Let's do a set with the arms out. Iron cross, soft back, circus, lock it in your back, strong arms, pick the leg up. Straight. Switch. The standing mat exercises are really helpful. You go to teach a class. If you don't have, when we go back into the public, switch. Go volunteer. Volunteer. If you want your practice and your life and your business to change, go volunteer, switch. Go teach at a home for unwed this and a home for that and the military and the teenagers and switch. The football teams, go teach, volunteer. And you'll go there and they won't have any mats. It's an outdoor after school switch program. They don't have any mats. You gotta do a standing mat. All these places. All right, arms in front of you, leg behind you. Close your fingers down. Yeah. Switch. Now I have to focus. I can't tell you my story if I'm balancing on my situation that needs strength. Switch. So when your clients come in or you want to get control of the group, start with one leg. Switch. Right away, just start with one leg, and they have to concentrate. Okay, good, right? We're warmed up a little bit now. We've been on the X. We're on the next X, all right? We're on the next X. Take your hands behind your head. Put your head back into your hands, heels together. Lift up. All right, stay up, down and up. Go slow. We're no reformers on the Isle of Man. Doing squats. Doing footwork. Ever notice that footwork, by the way, what do boxers do? Footwork. Right? Feet together, knees together. Cossack arms. Don't say I dream of Jeannie. The kids are all young. They have no idea what you're saying. Genie arms, if it's our generation. Otherwise, Cossack, the very word implies strength. Down and up. And they'd be going all the way down to their butt and relieving their feet, right? You've ever seen the Russians do it. Try to see if your weight is even, if you're shifting over to your stronger side. Squeeze everything down there. You don't have to name it, England. Okay. Hands straight up, hip distance. Really be in your square. I love my plank floors because I use those horizontal lines to line my equipment and my feet up. All right, drop the wings, down and up. So same thing we do on the armchair, Arkansas, when you catch up with the series. We can change the arms in any position. We can have them behind our head. We can have them in front of our chest. We can have them straight up. Those are the same arms you can have on the, and we can have them alternate. Those are the same arms you can have on your standing split exercises on the reformer. Yes, okay, that's enough. Hands to the hips, big circles around. Keep your hips there, Allison, just go around your hips. Yeah, think, right, bring your arms up like this. Bring over your head a little bit. Think short box, think short box. Again, we're not performing an exercise, less waving over there, Austria. Just use it like a weight. The boxers will do it like this with the hands always in front of the face. Reverse it. You see Joe Pilates doing it, standing in those old Jacob's pillow stuff. You're just loosening up here. All right, inhale up. Good morning, another Oakland. Take a nice big stretch up and exhale around forward. Inhale up. Exhale around forward. Continue. Squeeze your buttocks when you go back. Exhale down. Everybody wants to perform the swan. Just extend your back. One more time. And then grab your arm weights. I've had lots of fun things through the decades, finding things. I found these. I was on location in a movie in Georgia, Carolina Skeletons with Lou Gossett. I went to an antique store. These are like from the 40s. So it's fun to find things that to use as tools in your space. Rain sticks, you know, batons, different things. So these have been my favorite things. They've been with me, I don't know, like 30 years now, and I just love them. The grip on them, the weight on them. So you can find these things and add to your, it's like having a certain spoon you're using when you're cooking, all right? All right, so right leg forward, left leg back. I'll be your mirror. We're gonna do the arm weight series now, but as if you're on the table, hands to your chest, stomach in, all right? Push out and down and up and around. Let's go, inhale out, down, and up and around. Inhale out and down, and up and around. Your back leg is tight, your back butt is tight. You don't need arm springs. One more. Switch legs. Push with your back heel down, squeeze your back butt. This is what we do on the reformer. Push out. As you go down, you lift. As you go down, you lift. You push. And you press. Create more resistance. You push. And you press. Two more. When you're teaching in a class, you're going to go do a class. We used to just buy a big thing of water and give everybody 8 ounces or 16 ounces. And at the end, we would drink the water. Doesn't have to be a big deal. Come back. All right. Palms in. Tiny circles in. Squeeze everything. Palms in. Obviously, you're inhaling as you come up. I hardly have to cue it. Exhale down because it's natural. One more. Just, you don't have to cue everything. Reverse it, circle out. It was down to 39 last night. I got up and turned the heat on, and now I'm really sorry I did that because I'm getting warmed up. And one more. Right? I love the asymmetrical position. Bring your left leg back. Okay, because this strengthens that lower back, the butt. You're stretching down. Hands over the head for the lifting. Stomach in and stretch and bend. Stretch and bend, that's it. Don't over cue. 5, let's go to 10. Switch legs. Lock the back leg, stomach in, stretch and bend, stretch and bend. It's the abdominals, it's the shoulders, it's the abdominals, it's the shoulders. You're lifting. I wore a ponytail, but we're not shaving it. We're lifting. It's triceps. What's the matter, Jane? Do you have a problem? Oh, what? She's feeling it in the shoulders? Good. All right. Next. Come back to your turnout position. There is no ballet first and there ain't no Pilates first. It's a rotation out, stomach in. But you can lean forward and do your toes a little bit. Let's do the press. Squeeze close and open. Pick up the speed. Resist, cause more resistance. Left leg back, keep going. Come on, get those little bird wings going, Austria. Got to get stronger to fly. Switch. Good. I'm the only one who lives in the forest. I'm the one who can only really say hug a tree, and I don't. All right. Bueno. All right. So we've done ta-ta, ta-ta, the big circles, the small circles. Let's take it out and take it up and take it in that right angle. Chin up, abs in, inner thighs, glutes tight. Push and pull. Push. Ramana would stand there and put her hand here to press, resist, and press, resist. If the person had an injury like I did, rotator cuff, she would do it with no springs, no weights, just causing resistance and causing resistance. Watch how the bodybuilders do it. Bring your arms forward, press them open and close them. And don't be giving the guys like 2-pound weights. Don't be working the guys out like you work a girl out. Come forward. Lean a little bit. All right. Bring one arm up, one arm down. Stretch here. Squeeze inner thighs, stomach, and butt. Just look down at your hand. Stretch down. Let the weight pull you down. Let the arm fold over for a deeper stretch. Lift the arm and the head together. Lower it. One arm goes up, one arm goes down. Inhale. Exhale. Let the weight pull you down. Turn in profile to look at it. Bend the arm for a deeper stretch. Inhale. Lift the arm and head together. Ramana would say 1 unit. Stand up. Exhale down. Switch. Try not to shift the hip when you bend over. Stretch over here, right? What is it? We did it last lesson. It's your baby armchair, right? It's the profile, right? It's the reformer. Lift up and down. So it's great to teach it without the equipment. So they get the strength and they get the coordination and they get the control before the carriage is moving or they have a spring. All right, good. Next, you're gonna open your heels, internally rotate, externally rotate, so you come out till you're in a big block. Drop your back down. These are all Ramana's arm series. So you're in a block, your back is arched, your abs are in, one arm stretches forward, one arm stretches back. Come to the armpits and switch. Come to the armpits and switch. Come to the armpits and switch. Switch. Continue. Abs are in. And then just relax down. Let the weights pull you down around your back. Just let your arms circle. Let the weights circle in your arm socket. Let the arms circle in the arm socket. Don't circle them, just let them circle. Reverse. This exercise also good with just one arm. Someone's got a bad arm, a naughty arm, Romano would call it. How's that naughty arm? This is for your naughty arm. And curl up. She had to say naughty hip. Everybody has a naughty hip. My sacroiliac. Oh yeah, how's that naughty hip? This is for that naughty hip. Next. Sorry. Caught me. In this position again, flat back, abs in, the bug. Pull back with your elbows and release. Stomach in, pull back and release. Squeeze the shoulders. We're going to 10, so 2 more reps. And come up. Good, all right? In Europe, I think a kilo is good. All right, so let's turn the feet out, continuing with the standing mat, because there is no, yes there is, but no there's not, sections of reformer, Cadillac, chair, barrels, mat, system. And then it's just my arms, right? All right, so we're going to do the hundreds with the weights, all right? Let's go, let's inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 30. Lean forward into your toes a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 40. Stomach in, squeeze the butt. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 3 now. Inhale 2, 3. Exhale 7, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bueno. Bueno. Next. Press back, lift up on your toes, lower the heels, bring the arms up to here. Lean forward into your toes, lift up and back. This is Wild and Woolly Pilates sweatshirt from Todd in Kentucky. He makes his own sweatshirts, he sent it to me. You know, I had a little attitude in the beginning when I heard from this guy in Kentucky, Wild and Woolly Pilates. I said, keep going. So where did that name come from, Todd? How did you come to name your studio that? Well, I had a video shop called Wild and Woolly Pilates Videos. And then when Blockbuster came along, I became a Pilates teacher. And so now it's just Wild and Woolly Pilates. Far out, Todd. Rest. Heart rate up. Good exercise. You go to teach a mat class outside. You want to give people exercises before they do their sport. Here they hike on the trails, they hike to the top of the mountains, then you can do some stuff. In the park, you can do some stuff. In the backyard, you can do some stuff. All right, let's do more. Let's take it into a full chest expansion. Inhale, pull back, lift up. Stretch the neck one way, stretch the neck the other way, center and release. Let's take it all the way to here. Inhale, push back, lift up, stretch, stretch, center and release. 2 more times. Alternate the head. Hands behind the head. Stretch and lift. Lower and bend. Continue. One more. I have to do it just to show you this. There's a lot of exercises that take some understanding or some practice, even if you think you get it right. You know, one of those on the reformer, for instance, would be the upstretch. You know, like, am I doing it right? If you're doing it right, you're sure you're doing it wrong. And you're probably doing it wrong if you're on the wrong equipment because you can't do it right. In that subject of the series of exercises, I find when I teach people, the things that they don't get the most are, for instance, the butterfly, the bat, the sword, the fencing, exercises like that, right? We don't need to do like sword sparring. So this person was just not getting it. And of course, I'm not there in person to spot them. So I just wanted to say that I have lots of swords around the house for some reason. Within reach, I just have a dagger. But when I teach the sword, right, which I can do now with your weights, right? Everybody take a weight. Weight, this is on your shoulder, weight, right? Stomach in, you do it on the armchair, you do it on the reformer, draw the sword, and down. Repeat, try to be opposite me. So then what I do, because this all comes from sport, this is the exercise. This is the exercise. This is the exercise. All right, this is the exercise. Now you can take that conditioning and that you're rotating, you know, and what muscle groups you're using and the connection. Switch. But if your mind doesn't know what you're actually doing, then it's just, I don't know. Switch hands. Switch hands, right? So I actually give them a sword. Here's what you're doing. You're drawing the sword. And when it gets to his neck, you better have a strong wrist. That's when you put your stomach in and you create more resistance. All right? You see the position now? Is there any doubt what we're doing? No. There's a lot of sport in the work. So especially in that subject of teaching guys or cleaning up, what are you mentally doing here? Okay, so a little note there on the sword, because I could put that in my arm workout, right? I'm teaching in the park, you know, let me just give your kids a 20-minute warm up before they play their soccer, whatever. Really good to, if you want to create magic and magnetism, and you may need it right now, right? You have to create magic and magnetism to change things. Go and volunteer teaching. And if you teach like large groups of kids or even small groups of kids, you have to pull it together because they're just not adults behaving. So what's important, if I would say what was, you know, is your own style, what comes up. Those of you who are parents know what you have to do to get your kids to brush their teeth or eat. What comes up to make the person do what they need to do, which is move, right? So go teach a group that is not an adult paying you money to watch them, and your skills will come up. And if you give when you don't have ability to get, you'll open up and create magic. That's what's happened to me. Then you get that phone call, or can you go to someone's house now? So these small things with my little barrels and stuff, I used to go to someone's house. I could bring a spine corrector. I could bring some weights, a magic circle, and a mat, and go to their house and work them out in their backyard. I used to get paid $50. I would go to their house, 7 in the morning. We're walking. Let's walk around the block. We're walking the first 20 minutes. Now we're doing 20 minutes of stretching, 20 minutes of abs, and some arm work. Don't need equipment. All right, on that subject of equipment, going up, and that was weights being your small thing, your boxes, all right? So I'm going to do the wrist roller, and the subject will be, where am I going to do it? So I have a little moon box. A moon box is always useful in the studio. I have my reformer box, which is kind of my favorite place to do it. I also will have someone stand on the reformer bed. And then the hardest place would be the table. Let's say I have a really big guy and he's really strong. then I'll put him on the table because he'll have to unroll the wrist roller further down than here, right? So I've lifted up the floor. And your wrist roller, if you don't have one, you can go to the hardware store and say, please cut me a dowel this length. I don't have my, yes I do. I always have a measuring tape, right? I've made many a wrist roller. Okay, so this is 1 foot. So you go to the hardware store, have them cut you 1 foot dowel. They drill a hole in there, attach a string to it. This, if you buy it, and I don't recommend it, is an $80 bag of sand. It's an $80 bag of sand, okay? So what's left from the Isle of Man is they used to use the sand as weights, right? And circus people do that too. Circus people use sanded weights to keep the tent down. They would have used it in Isle of Man to keep the gymnastic equipment from moving. But they can just put this in here and have weights because they don't have metal. So really this bag of sand is the last remnant of the Isle of Man. So don't pay $80 for it. So you get a stick and this is tied onto that. The way I used to make them, because when I ran a big studio, which is not now, I used to have lots of different weights. So I would hook, you know how the leg weights come with the strap? So you just get a swivel hook. A little class on how to build a little impromptu class on how to build this. This is called a swivel hook because it swivels. Okay, it's about $2.50. And so you just go to the hardware store and you get a swivel hook and you attach a rope to it. And then the swivel hook can attach to the weight if it's got a buckle on it. And then you can have 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, different size wrist rollers, okay? This is a pretty hard one. This is a pretty serious one. And yes, you can make your own. Oh, I like that one. Who's that one, Bonnie? I like that one. Did you make that? No, you bought it and took some sand out?
It's grots, and I took some sand out.
Oh, it's a deflated grots, yeah, okay.
Yeah, deflated grots.
So what you could do is you could put on a swivel hook at the bottom of that and be able to attach different size weights to it. Or you just kick up the repetitions, right? This one's good. I'll give it to pregnant ladies. I'll give it to back problems. I'll give it to everybody. You're standing in your position, externally rotated, squeezing everything. Bring the arms out, stomach in. Hands open and close. Don't just let the bar go. They open and close. And if you practice, then you'll know how many repetitions make you sore, which will be 1 more than you can do. All right, now I'll come up. And usually I may have to help them up. This is my stronger sandbag. And one thing I did learn from Jay Grimes was we had one of our events here at Big Bear, and the Siberian arm wrestling champion of Siberia came to my Pilates event. Okay, Siberian arm wrestling champion. So Jay put him up here on the table. So those of you who have a table, let's hop on. You put him up here on the table. And he gave him, let's do 1 rep, opening and closing. He gave them 8 or 10 reps. The man was sore the next day. The Siberian hand wrestling champion of Siberia. Yeah, so when someone says, I want to work my arms, I just give them the wrist roller in addition to everything else. That was one. I think that was good for me. How was that for you? All right. So moving on into our smaller equipment as a subject was the barrels. And I just wanted to add, if you haven't seen this little aid, the exercise, the horseback. We did the horseback sequence on the ladder barrel, but in the subject of the small barrel, and in the subject, is that big or small barrel? Of the arm weights, all right? So I'm putting things together, not springs, but a great place to teach the horseback, which comes from gymnastics, horse vaulting, is with the small barrel on the reformer. That makes it more comfortable, especially if you have a reformer where the box is too big, the foam is too small, the straps aren't right. This is a homemade barrel, which is nothing wrong with homemade equipment. All right, now that's so comfortable. So subject is small things, barrels, and my arm weights. All right, just go into your C curve, pull your stomach in, squeeze the pony and lift up and down. C curve, squeeze the vinyl, lift up and down. Stomach in and lift up and down. Continue. They've taken these wonderful sport exercises, right? Rowing, swimming, horseback riding, fencing, boxing, and made it all into medical therapy, women's parts. Don't do that. Just give them the sport exercise, right? And lots of them. So we're really lower abs, inner thighs. Now come up. Let's do 4 circles with the arms. Scoop your abs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. Squeeze the pony. Scoop the abs. 3, 4, and sit back down. So the base is very comfortable. I can work on what I'm supposed to be working on without the pain of the box, the edges of the box, without worrying about the carriage moving at this stage. Next set, stomach in, curl up, hands behind, in front of the forehead, stomach in. Let's do 5 salutes and stretch. 2, bend and stretch. Scoop the abs and sit back down. Okay? Don't be so concerned about your performing the horseback. I'm pointing, I'm flexing, I'm pointing, I'm flexing. Go back to what is the purpose of the exercise? In every doubt you ever have, go, what is the purpose of the exercise? I'm riding a horse with no straps. That's what it's about. Because the purpose of gymnastics, where this system comes from, is military. I'm vaulting off of a horse. I'm swinging with my sword. So this is a great place. I have a lady, she's a polo player. She plays at Will Rogers State Park, right? So you're emulating, you're helping someone do their sport. So someone like her, I would give lots of repetitions. This exercise would be nothing. She gallops with no arms, swinging things. So get back to the athleticism and the purpose, or at least the imagination that you're trying to give somebody. All right, that's going to be it for the small barrel, just that one tip. And I wanted to do the foot corrector. Important little piece of apparatus. The foot corrector is the one place left in the system that has compression springs. Compression springs, where you press down to create a force. The rest of the springs are extension springs. He did have other inventions, but this is the only one left today that has that compression springs. And this is the only really good one, I'm sorry to say. Rarely do I say that, nor do I work or endorse this company, but this is an extraordinary foot corrector. How much resistance is what matters. So if you have one from other manufacturers and the springs are really light, it doesn't do anything. You can't fix something. You're not fixing anything. You need a certain amount of force to fix. It's like a certain amount of force to change a bolt on a tire. The safety thing would be the bad accidents here that I have heard of, not had, is especially someone who's diabetic, someone who's on blood thinners, someone who's got really swollen feet, fat feet, pregnant feet. You can catch your foot, you can catch the skin between the post here. So one lady caught her foot there. It started bleeding and they couldn't stop the bleeding. So in terms of, I always like to tell that story because you have to watch the placement of the foot if they have large feet. All right, that being said, come back to this as your first piece of equipment you put somebody on. I like to just go different starting place, different starting place. They come in, this would be also in the subject of standing, right? Standing exercises, they're pregnant, they've got a sinus infection, they've got a migraine, they've got a brain tumor. All those go into the subject of standing exercises. So this would be a typical first exercise I give somebody to get their attention in their mind, which would be another thing I learned from Jay Grimes. You know, it helps to have somebody who has more experience than you and watch how they make choices, given that we have the same things, right? Given that we have the same reformer and Cadillac and the same amount of equipment, watching how that person makes choices. And that's one of the negative parts of being isolated or working alone is you don't get inspired or you forget, oh my God, I forgot that exercise. So he would have somebody come in because we work by Fox Studios. He was in my studio for a few years. We'd have a lot of executive people who come in who think all the time, who've got to make a lot of decisions, or they got a lot going on, or they can't shut up, and they come in and blah, 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 blah. He would never lie them down. He would start them on the foot corrector, all right? But back to the Ramana thing, Arkansas just joining us. The Ramana formula is the R's: your resistance, your repetition, your rhythm, and your range of motion, or you can call it your ratio, all right? Your resistance, how much springs am I using? What am I using? Am I using a magic circle? Am I using an arm weight? Am I just doing the mat? Am I using my light springs? Am I using my short springs? Are they doing their, so my resistance is 1. Repetition, am I going to give them 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 or 6? What is the right number for them? It's not a formula. Sorry, Power, it's not a formula, except for the R's. The rhythm, if they're in pain, we're going to go really slow, right? Pain is a different subject. Pain is not this class. Pain is a class, and then the class is lower all the R's. You're going to use less resistance. They come in, they are in pain. I'm going to drop my reformer springs down. They're in pain. We're not going to do that many. We're going to keep the head down. Maybe you have a neck pain. Maybe I won't lift the head up at all. Maybe I'll lift it up once. Maybe I'll lift it up twice. How fast are we going? They've been doing Pilates for 10 years, but they hurt their shoulder. But they don't want, it's going to take X amount of time to heal the shoulder, but they don't want to lose all their tone. I'm going to kill the rest of their body, just not their shoulder. How fast am I going? And the range of motion. But Ramana's formula for beginners, really, and beginners is anyone less than 10 years of teaching, then you're no longer a beginner, is if you have a problem, stay off the problem. The person comes in, my shoulder, my shoulder, my shoulder. You completely stay off the problem. And that has to do with where your starting place is. So if you're used to, for some reason, always starting with footwork, and the person comes in and just fell off their, tore their rotator, strained their whatever, I'm not going to put them on the reformer and push them into the shoulder rest. Nothing will touch this, and this will do nothing if they're in a pain, acute situation. But start them on the foot corrector and kill their feet. Okay? So let's do a close-up on Bonnie, because I don't think you can really see a close-up on me. And you're going to take the foot corrector and have it out. If your studio is large enough, or even if you have small things, don't have it away. Don't have your armchair and pedipole and everything put away. If my foot corrector is here, I'm going to use it. I see it, I go to it, I want to pump it. It's almost the laziest I can be besides the barrel, right? Like, yeah, I can pump that. I don't want to do my reformer. So she has her foot corrector out as a station. It's on a mat, so it doesn't slide. It's very organized. You can't do this with toe socks, but you can put a little non-skid over it, right? I like it by the Cadillac or the ladder barrel in case the person has to hold on. So you're also talking your older people, your people with medication, brain injuries, whatever. So I like that to have my foot corrector by my caddy or by my ladder barrel so they can hold on, all right, when they're beginners and they have a balance problem. That being said, before we get to that, if they don't have a balance problem or they're more advanced, then we can do some things with the arms. Arms could be here, arms could be here, arms could be here, arms could be here. But the purpose is to correct the foot. So we don't have to get too crazy in the arms. All right, put the heel in the long part, spread your toes and wrap it around the plate. Bend your knee, use all your weight, press forward and release. Let's do 16. I've seen Jay do 20. I like 20. You're watching as a teacher, you're watching yourself that your knee is tracking over your second toe, that it's not going in. We don't care about the upper body right now. And is the lady who's on the blue, is your foot corrector square to the mat? Next, go to your arch. Same foot. Press down, hold, control the release. So the rhythm, how you want to do the rhythm is up to you. You can press down, hold, and slowly release. But let's take the rhythm fast. Let's pump fast for 12. Pat, pat, pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. And then the massage. Slide the foot back. Press the bar down. This is where a sock can help, but not a toe sock. And having a little, try to do it without wiggling, just go forward and back. Like you would do on a tennis ball. You can do this on a tennis ball, but nobody wants to do it on an old tennis ball when you can do it on a $295 foot corrector. All right. Come back. Come to the ball of the foot with your heel up. No, same side, same side. Same side, same foot. Ball of the foot. Ball of the foot on the pedal. Heel up. Yeah. Pump like that. Pump, pump, pump. Now this one is really, really good for my ankles because I broke it in a couple places, had surgery in a couple places. And I now have a knotty ankle. So I like to do that one. All right, let's do all three on the other leg without turning around. So you can do this different ways. Wrap your toes around it, bend your knee, press down, hold, and release. Let's do 12. Okay, now she knows she's pretty good. If the person knows what they're doing, then I'll do something with the upper body. So you can have your hands out to the side. Depends if I'm putting on music, what I'm doing. So I might hold that for 4 positions. Behind the head for 4 positions. Make sure the knee's tracking over the toe, straight up. In front of me. I think it's more than 16 now. Next position. Yeah. So pump. Let's do 4 slow, and then we'll do the rest fast. You can match on one foot, whatever you do on the other foot. Or if you have a knotty foot, you can do more on that foot. So just like your footwork on the reformer, you got the balls in the arch, we'll have the heel next, and you have pumping, you have going slow to fix, you have going fast, you have the massage. Not exactly my idea of a foot massage, but it does feel good. I like those old 3HO reflexology, go deep 1 hour. Speaking of Memorial Day, 9/11. So I was on the Matrix with Carrie Ann Moss down in Australia when it happened. It's pretty intense to be gone from your country, and I am from New York, so I'm gone from my state. Although I'm a Californian, I'm born in the Bronx. My cousin was a first responder. Keep going. And now today we have all these other tragedies of the fires, the tires. We have all these other things to stay strong for, right? Let's walk around. So you have your choice here. You can walk around and do your foot, or you can reach down and flip the machine the other way. I'm of a nature now to not be reaching down and flipping things. Do 12s. This super, super, super important exercise. This is a hard one to duplicate in the system. The other ones you can with the electric chair or the Wonder chair. Use that as your foot corrector because it is a foot corrector. The reformer is by definition a foot corrector. This one is a hard exercise with this torsion spring to duplicate. So it's a very important exercise for anyone who's had any torn Achilles tendon. For me, surgery on the ankle, torn gastrocnemius, even knee and hip problems. So this idea of exploring, we started, remember, with our standing X, one leg out, one leg balances front, back, and side. Everything where you're doing one leg and you find the weaker leg. So if you had a weaker hip or a weaker knee, also you would have a weaker foot because you would tend to put all your weight on your standing strong leg and not on your leg with the situation. So you will see it in the foot corrector that this is harder, this is easier. And so you don't do the same amount of repetitions on each foot or each body part if it's weaker. And you have to explore that. In order to explore, you have to listen. In order for you to listen, the teacher's got to shut up. Okay? So I say do 12 and I let the person count. I don't have to micromanage. You know, we're micromanaging because we spend so much money on the anatomy or the connection or the whatever. You don't want to keep saying, unless they need the correction, unless you see that they're pooching or their knee's going in. You can say abdomen, track your knee. Now you can do it with, what I got here. My Cirque du Soleil umbrella. This happens to be really nice. You know, I think I'm teaching just privately now, besides you guys. But right, social distancing, right? Pull that stomach in, drop that shoulder down, butt up, right? Perfect pointer, perfect social distancing one. All right, so that's it for the foot corrector. We did the wrist roller, we did some standing mat. Now let's take it to some, we're gonna pick and choose just one or two things from the spine corrector that maybe you haven't seen before. Everybody's thinking, I know the spine corrector. It's on your table, belly strap. If you don't have a belly strap, the teacher can hold on to them, but remember, we're not supposed to be touching after all those years. So that's hence your leg weight. So the setup is going to be spine corrector on the table with a belly strap. If you don't have a belly strap, you're using a leg weight, and you're going to have one arm weight, down arm weight. Unless it's a guy 3 or 4, okay? And we're going to do our side overs on the spine corrector. My favorite place to do the side overs. Okay, Google, stop. We got 5 minutes. Do this one. All right, so you're going to lie yourself because this exercise will go with anybody's spine corrector. This one won't annoy me. Your spine corrector's on the table. You're going to lie on your right side. Put your left foot under the belly strap. Body's going to be my model. You're going to hold on to the arm weight with your left hand. I don't know what you do.
Bonnie had to leave. Maybe
okay.
Dunya or Jane.
I'll be your model, or they can do it too. I'm on the spine corrector. My foot is in the belly strap. I have an arm weight in my left hand. My right hand's behind my head. We're not going down, we're going up. Okay? Go, 2, and 3. All right, switch hands, Dunya. No, stay there. Have your hand, put the weight in your left hand. Put the weight in your left hand. Have your left hand above your left knee. Left hand above your left knee. Your leg is straight. Hurry up, I'm waiting for you. Just listen to the words. Listen to the words. Your left arm above your left leg with the weight. This is going to be a good one now. All right, let me see your positions again. Good. There you go. Good, Jane. Only come up. Now, take your leg out of the strap and do another 10. Another 10. Make it real small. Your leg won't move if your butt is tight. So first we learn using the strap or the teacher or the weight, then we do it without the strap. I'm using the arm weight to weight up these muscles. Okay, next. Lose the weight, bend both knees, bring your hands behind your head for the full, what you would call mermaid or side stretch. Don't go down, just come up. Don't go down, just come up. Just come up. All right, now go down, take your big stretch. Go down, take your big stretch. Go down over the barrel, relax your upper arm, relax both your arms. Just totally relax. You can move a little bit. All right, other side. Your leg is under the belly strap, your right leg, your top leg is under the belly strap or a weight. Your bottom leg is hooked under the barrel. Your top hand has an arm weight right above the knee, not touching it. Other hand behind the head, stomach in, go up, not down, but up. Oh, look, stronger on this side, easier on this side. Big discovery. Just go up, get the rib to the hip, Dunia, rib to the hip. There you go, there you go. Right rib to the right hip. Beautiful. Take the foot out. This is how I teach it. This is how I do it. It's so awkward on the reformer, especially if you have too big of a box, too tight of a strap, too loose of a strap. You have a beginner, they can't possibly do this on the reformer. It was never taught on the reformer. All right, I do lots of reps. I like 20. Now lose the weight. This would be the full exercise for the classic. Hands behind the head and just come up. Go as far down until you start to lose it and come up. Go far down as you can start to hold it and come up. 2 more. All right. Turn face to front, just open your legs. Yeah, thank you. Take the stretch. Thanks for keeping track there. You know, a lot to keep track of. All right, come sitting up. And in your V, sit in the V. Just bring your hands on the vinyl in front of you on the table. Hands, legs are open and wide. Straighten your legs, Dunia. And then stretch forward, spine stretch forward, hands on the vinyl. Oh. And come back up. Exhale down. Hands on the vinyl, on the table. Yeah, I have to insist that the hands go on the table or the hands go on the mat. And one of those points I'd like to influence you, stretch forward in this, you know, return to life, which is Joe's original exercises. Everybody's doing it up here. I don't like it up here. It's just stretching forward. This morning, preparation for this class, I kept waking up like every 2 hours. I didn't want to miss the wake up. I couldn't sleep, so I had my legs together, bring your legs together. And I just stretched forward. And then I came up. And then I just stretched forward. So this, my friends, I'm going to leave you with, do your mat in bed, teach your people. They wake up and they should just roll up. They don't have to do the roll up or do the spine stretch forward. They just have to do this, okay? And come up. Thank you very much for coming today, for our standing mat and our small pieces of equipment.
Thank you, Siri.
Thank you. I wanted to teach the class outside. I haven't, I'm still working on the Ethernet cable outside. I would just really like to show you my life outside. I want to teach the mat outside. And, but we're having a lot of fires, so the air's not so good. So we're working out inside.
Their mask in 95.
I do want to say, if any of you know Belkis Ruthland up in Oregon, she completely lost her house and all her equipment in these fires. They are doing a fundraiser for her. I would like to donate today's class proceedings to her. So thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Siri. Thanks
Anybody-
so much. Thank you, everybody.
Anybody have any questions? Hey, that was on time too.
Yeah.
Right? It's so good to be back in the studio and control something like the hour. Like, okay, I had control of that hour.
Great. Any questions, anyone? Everyone okay?
I did. Speaking of the hour, and you might have talked about this before, but you were saying earlier with somebody who had surgery, and Ramona would just work on everything else, not touch this at all. So, but that's not doing an hour of.
Well, I'll give you Romana's formula. Romana's formula was 40 minutes on the reformer and 20 minutes in the system for your problem. 40-minute reformer, which is killer, especially as you get faster, and then 20 minutes in the system on your problem. So when I met her, I had been in a car accident and I had a rotator cuff injury. So we never did rowing or long back stretch or any of that. That's why I got really good at butt exercises. So we do what we could on the reformer. I'm not doing elephant or anything because I got a torn rotator, but you can still do all these leg stuff. So if it depends what state the injury is, and is it something like someone says, I've had this back problem for 20 years, I'm cool with that. If like I had a lady and she just had surgery and too soon she's out bike riding. And so I don't want to work her out. After surgery, it really, really needs to be 3 weeks, okay, no heavy stuff, 6 weeks. It's really 6 weeks. So, and then there's physical therapy sometimes if it's surgery, like, surgery. And it should be when they're released from that. It should never be when there's stitches. It should never be when it causes blood. Example, here's an example. Give you an example. Someone's just had mouth surgery, right? Maybe they're putting in implants. Maybe they're doing all this heavy dental work. But they, but I don't want to lose my workout or my butt. But they've got stitches in. They're in a surgical situation where blood flow will make a big difference. Situation like that, first class, what we do, start them on the electric chair. She's going to sit up. She's never going to lay down. So it's my sitting up workout. What's my sitting up workout? We do my standing and my sitting workout. I'm not going to be having her do an elephant or short spine or legs in the straps, right? I'm going to be doing foot corrector. I'm going to be doing, legs and her butt. So that's where you're pulling back from the situation. I like to call it a situation. I don't like to say, oh, how's your disc, how's your surgery, how's your cancer today? I just go, oh, that's right, you have that situation. So we're going to do it like this. Yeah, you do need to customize for the situation, but if it's pain, you stay off of it unless you're really good at that. When we had a large studio, we used to go, oh, you're in pain with your back? You go work with, Karen. She's like, got that. She had it wasn't Karen, this other girl, Kathleen. Kathleen had the heart and the kindness and the compassion, right? Because you got to go down to some minimal stuff there. You're talking way down in rhythm and way down, like, I'll give you an example. We had this one guy, Ernie, and we had windows and he would pull up on the street. So let's say his appointment was 3 times a week and it would be like at 4 o'clock. So he would pull up at 4 and it would take about 3 minutes for the door to open. He had Parkinson's. And then to go around to the back of the trunk and get out his bag. and then to come. It was like 11 minutes for him to, you know, and it was the same thing when we had to position him anywhere. So you have to have someone who's got infinite compassion and the ability to merge and not get annoyed with that, you know, and that degree of annoyment. It's a good discussion. It would have been a good discussion for a panel to take 5 really different teachers, not teachers, but personalities, you know. Let's say like an Alicia Angaro, she's trained as a physical therapist. So her ability to measure pain is way different than mine. You know, her ability to measure pain is, oh, you have it in the morning, you have it in the evening, it gets better when you do this, it gets worse when you do this. Da, da, da. She has a measurement of pain because she's trained as a therapist. Depending on your personality, the things that make a teacher is, number one, your training. You know, you're trained to do that. You know, if you're not trained how to make a cup of coffee, you can't be a barista. You know, just because you make coffee doesn't make you a barista. Your training, your education, your experience, and your personality. Your personality. You either want to help people. If you want to help people, this is a good career. If you wanted to be a star and you weren't, bad career, but a lot of people make a real good career out of it. Your personality. Can you listen? You know, I think it's mostly listening. That was Romana's quality. That's my quality. Some people are mutable. They can listen. Other people have this system and they're going to just put it on you. And we're going to do this and this, and then you're going to do this, and we're going to do this and this and this. That doesn't really happen. You can see it in our lives with this pandemic. You know, I had a system. We were supposed to be doing this. You were supposed to be doing that. Now we're not doing that. We're doing something else. So, you know, that's why, you know, we'll keep the philosophy out of it, but the personality of the teacher makes a difference in, for instance, if you know how to have authority, your body has authority, your voice has authority, especially when you're commanding men, children, or anybody, any other alpha A type. You know, for me in Beverly Hills, my career, it was like, you know, yes, ma'am, you won't pay me $150 an hour. You don't want to do that? We'll do this. You know, but if you're coming to my studio, we're doing this. You know, so the ability to, who's the alpha male in the room? Who's giving the instructions? The client comes in. I don't want to do that exercise. Here's my Madonna impression. Got time for this? Okay. I don't want to do that exercise. Donna, Leo, what do you say?
Okay.
What do you say? Who's the alpha male in this pasture? She says something. I don't really care what anyone says. My job is to get you to do this. I'm a teacher. 4 and 4 equals 8. You got to learn it. That's the job. She goes, I don't want to do this exercise. I don't like this exercise. I went, yeah, I didn't like it for at least 7 years. Now, here's my other one, Madonna. I don't get this exercise. Yeah, I didn't get that one for 9 years. Personality of the teacher. Job is get the medicine down the throat. Here's some sugar. Now take it. Open your mouth. Got to make it better. All right. So stay strong. Love you. Thank you very much, Allison. Because we almost lose it. We almost let it go. We almost like, should we? Shouldn't we? I've only got this. I'm not prepped. I didn't send out any emails. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. The circus is here. The circus is leaving. I will post the one picture of the little boy. I learned most from him. He's 20 months. You know, I can't stop. He went like this. I had the box on the floor here. He's 20 months, a circus kid. He took the little box. I'll send you the picture. He took the little box in front of the big box. He sat down on the little box, put his little thing there. That's where he watched his cartoons. I just went. Every time he comes in, he does something. I don't teach him. So you don't have to overteach. Just let the people be in your space. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Siri.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Allison.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Everybody, keep it coming.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Lisa.
joining us, Arkansas. Get
Thanks,
some
nice
other
to
ones.
see you
Get the One Spring Wonder or the Backward Reformer. Catch up.
Thanks, Dallas. Thanks, Jane,
Okay.
Dunya.
Allison,
Bye.
Thank
you.
you.
for
Thank
being
you, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.